Hello, crafty friends, it's Julie, and I'm going to be attacking my scrapbooking room one section at a time. I don't know about you guys, but I've been scrapbooking for a very long time, and depending on what's in vogue, I end up with different tools, and then I have to reorganize my scrapbooking room. Now, these little ink blending tools were a new addition to my scrapbooking room a whiles back. And all of these neat little foams were too. So I was trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to do this? How am I going to store these little ink blending tools in a bag like this? Take them off individually and put them in little plastic bags. It kind of gets messy, or just put them in a little bin. Anyways, this is my new attempt on getting organized with these little guys right here. So I've gone ahead on my computer and I've created myself a grid. Now, what's important with this grid is that it has to kind of fit the containers you're going to put them in. And like you, I see tons of people that have brilliant ideas. They find stuff at the dollar store, and of course, I can't find it here. So I went to the dollar store and I picked up these little drawer organizers. Now, these are pretty standard, I think. Like, it's a pretty standard size. Now, they are a little bit bigger than I would have wanted them, but you know what? For now, I think that it's going to work for my system. So you have to realize that your scrapbooking room is going to change multiple times throughout the seasons, throughout the years, throughout the projects that you're going to be doing. So this little guy here, I actually measured the bottom because it tapers down, and the height. And I decided to make little tags that are 2 inches by 2 inches. And I added all of the names of the inks that I have. So these are for distressed oxide inks. Those are the only ones that I have in my scrapbooking room right now, as far as the Tim Holtz type of inks. And I'm going to give this system a try. Now, I'm not saying it's the best system in the world, but it's got to be better than this. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to cut these out. I'm going to pull these out of my little bags. And I'm going to show you what it looks like when they are all in these little containers. And I've gone ahead and I've cut all of my little 2 by 2 squares. And I'm going to transfer all of my little foams here. So for this tray, I'm only going to use the flat foam, and I'm only going to use them for the oxide inks. So only for these ones here. And I don't have a whole lot, but I really do like them quite a bit. So I'm going to start organizing them to make room for these guys to grow. So when you do these and you type them up, you're probably going to want to type them up in alphabetical order, but then when you store them, you're probably going to want to store them in a rainbow color. I think that that's what most people like to do. So I've organized them here by rainbow color, and I'm going to add all of my little foams in the first tray. All right, so the next sets that I'm going to do, and I've got 2 little trays, are going to be for my dye-based ink. I separated my little domes by the rounded ones and the kind of flat ones. The flat ones are all for the distressed oxides, and then the round domes are for my dye-based ink. I don't know, it's just a preference, but for me, I find that these work best for the dye-based ink, and then these little guys here work best for the oxide inks. Again, just a preference, but I will separate them along those lines. So I'll sort out my little tray right here. So now that I've emptied my little organizer right here, and I've got all of this, like you could see that this was kind of like a messy kind of solution, but that's why everything kind of evolves when you start getting more. I'm kind of looking at this now in a different view. So I might try this option. This is good. It's definitely better than this. And now they're all stored by color. I could see that working, but they're also moving. So if that's going to drive you nuts, which I think it's going to drive me a little nuts, I might not use this as my final solution. Let's see what this looks like. All right, I'm back with, I guess, solution number 2. These are good in a pinch, but the tapered sides, I'm not sure if it's going to work. Definitely, if you need to store these little guys, you need something that's really nice and thin. So I'm really going to try and find the perfect solution for the perfect moment, because that's what it's all about. Right, crafty friends? I know that I changed my mind quite a bit. All right, so let me show you how this turned out. So this is definitely another solution, and I think for what I have right now at this moment, this actually is going to work. So I've got all of my little sponge daubers at the back. They're all labeled, which was the goal when I started. Because I don't have a whole bunch of them, I can put my handles in here, which I like that. And I even have room here for clean little foam applicators. So for now, I think this is what I am going to use for my solution. This works, but I wasn't completely happy with it. I'm still going to be on the hunt for the perfect solution, but again, for now, these are the colors I have, these are the tools I have, and this is going to work. You know what they say, third time is the charm. I'm back with one more modification. I didn't really like the loose labels because I don't have a lot of these colors. So if you have a lot of the colors and they're kind of snug, then things don't move around. But if you don't have a whole bunch of colors, they will move around no matter what container you put them in. So let me show you what I did, and I used my Cricut for this. And I think that it's going to help out. So I did cut these little squares or rectangular shape if you want. I'm going to take these out. Whoops. And then I'm going to show you how these fit in. Do you see this piece right here at the bottom? I created that in Cricut, and then what that does is it creates a little anchor point to put your little label. So let me see if I can bring this up. So see here, you've got a little slot and it creates a little anchor point. Then you can drop your little dauber and you can add another one, because it's all about keeping them in place. And you can actually flip through them and look at the colors that are inside. Oh, I think that that's pretty neat, and it's all done out of cardstock, no less. I've used just black cardstock at the bottom and then just white cardstock at the top. Let me clear these out and show you what this bottom piece looks like. All right, so you can see here I've emptied my little tray, and I want to show you this piece right here. So this piece was cut out of black cardstock, and I've got about 4 or 5 layers because I just wanted to give it a little bit of an edge when I stick my little labels or cardstock in here so that it holds on to something. Now I could have added a score line and put these in and then fold them underneath. That might be a solution, but for now this seems to work. So this pops right inside the tray, just like so, and then you've got all of these little dividers. So when I started to put my little colors inside, these are also all cut out of Cricut. So you just pop this in, just like so, and then you put your little dauber right in front. And I am going to place them in here rainbow color. So I've got this one that goes just in front, so on and so forth. And it's a pretty simple little DIY, but it's going to work. It really is going to work for me. Like I said to you, I don't have all of the colors, and they're not super snug inside, but I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. And then I can separate them. I can actually see them. I think this is going to work for now. Can you see that? And then I'm going to add one clear one here at the top, just so that it doesn't kind of mark up what's in the front. And then you can actually flip them and go through them. So this is all done out of cardstock. Very inexpensive hack, but I really do think this is going to work for me. So I really hope that I've provided you with enough ideas, and really, when you see these great ideas with how people organize their stuff, they probably didn't get to that point the first time. And I wanted to show you the evolution of how I was going to store these little sponges here, because it did take me a few tries, but I think, you know what? I think I'm super happy with how this turned out. I hope you think that this is a really good solution for you too. So I wanted to give you a different angle, and as I was playing with this, now that I have those little grooves at the bottom with the cardstock, I can actually put the tools at the back and my little sponges at the front, and I can actually go through them and see which ones I want to pick and easily put them away. So I hope that this has inspired you to get a little bit more organized in your crafty space. I will catch you in the next video.